Really? Okay, sorry. My dog just scared the kitten, so he jumped up here. Hey everyone, it's Lisa here from Arcane and Stellar with a timeless pick-a-card reading for you. This was requested in my community tab post. If you want to put in a request over there for a reading that you'd like to see on the channel, go for it. I've never done one like this before. I thought this could be quite interesting. And it is, what could be your claim to fame? So in what aspect could you, what could you kind of do to become famous, or what could be your claim to fame? Of course, this isn't a guarantee. Of course, you would have to act on these things, and of course, I'll give different ideas. But, and of course, with astrology, in particular, that's probably a better place to look in your own chart. But, this is going to be an interesting reading. Maybe it'll resonate for some of you, I hope. But, yes, I am welcoming you to my channel if you're new, and for those of you that are returning subscribers, thank you guys for all your support. I do want to say a quick thank you to Florencia. There we go. She got me the Dreaming Way Lenormand. Thank you so much. I've been really wanting this deck. Oh my gosh. I was super excited, and I think I finally found a Lenormand deck that I really, really, really connect to. I really like the imagery on it, so thank you so much. And I've already been in touch with you about setting up a reading. And speaking of readings, if you do want to have a personal reading with me, you can do that by going down in the description box below. There's a link to my Etsy where you can purchase a reading, as well as, my Amazon wish list. I always do a reading as a thank you for anything that's bought off of either of my wish lists. So yeah, so we have 4 piles, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can choose however you like. You can use a number generator. You can use your intuition. Just go for it. The timestamps will be down below. Take care, guys. Hey guys, so if you chose pile number 1 with this red carnation, this is your reading. He sounds unhappy. I just had to re-record because my dog decided it was a good idea to chase the kitten. So then we had to put the kitten upstairs for a bit, and now it's meowing and crying. It's not like a tiny, and it jumped up on the table right in the middle of the reading. I'm gonna have to do bloopers because I have a few already of cats ruining my setup. Okay, so where is your claim to fame, or where can you find recognition in your life? Where can you find fame or draw fame to you? Now, okay, I want to say, of course, fame is subjective. Some of you, this could just be like local recognition. For some of you, I mean, I'm not saying that you guys will become like superstars, but you could find success in certain fields where you will feel, like you get a lot of good recognition. So with that being said, let's get started. We have, and this is one of I like this pile the most. I think this is the one I connect to the most. So we have Sagittarius and Jupiter return. So the Jupiter return is interesting. Do you hear that? He's mad. The Jupiter return happens, it's when Jupiter returns to its natal position. So everyone talks about like the Saturn return, right? Which happens, around 28 to 30 years old. And then, of course, the Jupiter return happens about every 12 years. So, yeah. Anyways, it may be that during your Jupiter return is when you find the most benefits, most rewards for your efforts. It also gives me the vibe, though, that many of you are going to have some sort of Sagittarian, Jupiterian, 9th house sort of ways of making money, right? Or finding success or recognition. And so the 9th house, as somebody with my Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Venus in the 9th house, I can tell you that, this can often show up in, astrologers, by the way. That's a good house for astrologers. It's also good for divination. So some of you might find recognition through reading tarot or using other forms of divination, as well as travel. So many of you may find that you'll find success abroad better than maybe in your own place of birth, right? So you may find recognition abroad. This would be the type of person who goes to another country and finds success. Also, international like trade and such, also very good here. I don't know how you can get famous through that. I don't know. Maybe you could. Maybe starting a business, for instance, abroad, importing something, exporting, and such. We also have in the ninth house and with this energy, explorers like philosophers, people who are religious, spiritual like leaders, gurus and such. So some of you might find yourself to be good guidance, spiritual. You might give good spiritual guidance, and you could find some kind of recognition through that, as well as education, right? And that's actually what I did before before I started the channel. I was a teacher. So yeah, and that can be the house, or the energy of someone who's a teacher. And usually it's at like a higher level, though. I have a connection between my fifth and my ninth, though. Because of my, I have like planets in the fifth that touch the ninth. But yeah, and so I taught children mostly. I'm not actually very good at teaching adults. I get too nervous. But somehow I just speak to children better. But yeah, teaching's another thing that could be found here. So let's just keep going. We have illumination. This does make me feel like many of you might, we have choices as well. So I get with choices here, it's like crossroads paths. It's that you have many options. I feel like for some of you, you might, in a walkway to fame, you might find a few dead ends. Okay, you might think that you've kind of got something, but then you don't. I do feel like for a lot of you, though, you're very lucky in this way, because Sagittarian Jupiter energy is very lucky generally, and you can reap some benefits and have some luck. The only thing is that just making sure that you finish something and keep at it. For some of you, I want to say that, yeah, you have many options and you may have many paths, like I said, but also illumination's an interesting one. I do feel like part of what could give you, I feel like a lot of you are going to be tarot readers, to be honest, with all this like ninth house type of Sagittarius energy and illumination. Come on now, and shift your perception, air guardian, it's kind of like enlightening someone's mind or helping them, illuminate their future or what's going on in a situation. I mean, seriously, many of you, and if you're wondering whether you should do tarot or not, this is probably a good sign for you. This reading right here. But also, like I said, illumination could go in terms of writing books too. Publishing is in the ninth house. So some of you might find fame through that. We have healing and love. So these might be particular topics that would be good for you. Spiritual healing, for instance, with the ninth house, teaching about that, becoming, like I said, like a spiritual guru or someone who can help other people heal. And this could be like healing, the mind, body, or soul. And as well, we have love. So it could be about love too. You guys could, some of you could even be, do mostly like love pick-a cards. Sorry, my dog is like tapping on the floor like non-stop. He's going up now. Laying down. Oh, yes. Thank you for the reminder. Some of you might actually find, okay, law and such, right? That's also found in the ninth house and with that type of energy as well. Some of you might, work in law or court or something like that. Hopefully you guys aren't, getting your claim to fame from, going to court. Yeah, so, some of you could actually become like a prosecutor or I don't know, some kind of like, yeah, that could be something here that you might find, like you might bust people, maybe detectives, or that's not exactly, well, I guess maybe if you had like, maybe like Pluto in the ninth, that'd make you probably a good detective, I think. I don't know. High honors, yeah. Court, this is all about like court and being honorable. Let's see. Unexpected money. Yeah, I do feel like you guys are gonna, I do feel like in some way, for a lot of you watching, you may still be on a path that's where you quite don't you don't quite expect some of this, because some of you might still haven't found your way yet, and others of you might have. But I feel like whatever path you kind of choose, especially in terms of fame, it could bring you an unexpected amount of money. You may be surprised how much you actually make out of it, for sure. I do feel like it's important for you to do something you love, though, to keep, yourself passionate and driven. And I know they say that often with people, obviously, but a lot of people don't have to do that, actually. They can go do the family business that they don't even want to do, and they're fine. So, but I do feel like for you guys specifically, love might be important here, like loving what you're doing, enjoying what you're doing. And it could be like studying. Some of you might like love to study and are just like scarfing down all kinds of different education and like different types of learning. Let's see here. Yeah, so we have the 5 of Cups. The World. Some of you might find it helpful to go study abroad, I want to say. Maybe for some of you that are feeling a bit stuck in life, this could be a good option for you, I want to say. For those of you that are younger. You might also be able to help people and build up their confidence when they feel sad. Some of you might make good, help people make new beginnings. I really get a guidance here, helping people through burdens, helping people through sadness, helping people through different parts of their life. Yeah, we have the King of Swords. It's kind of like a guide of some kind, someone who speaks truth, who uses communication a lot. So there's definitely communication involved in this, becoming famous. Let's see here. And passion here with the Page of Cups, and love for what you do. Yes, I do feel like there is something here about travel, though. Many of you may find your happiness, your fame, your recognition when you leave the area you're in, when you kind of let things go, when you start to travel, when you start to see new places, take new journeys on. I do get the sense, though, that some of you have, maybe you guys have tried a lot of things, but you never followed through. But I feel like on this thing you'll follow through once you find it, if you can find it. Which I think that you probably could, hopefully. I mean, of course this is going to be better when you look at your own natal chart and you kind of see what's activated there in your own chart. I'm going to try to do some more astrology videos. I've had a lot of requests for those. And I'll be offering astrology readings too soon. But, because I just did one for a friend of the channel, one of our subscribers. And I was looking at his nodes and did a thing for those. And so I'd like to do that, because a node is also, a way to see kind of where you're supposed to go in life. But I do see right here, I'll be honest, I just see a lot of, you're meant to teach people, you're meant to guide people, you're meant to shift other people's perceptions, to bring healing to them, to bring love to them, essentially. And this can be done in different ways, okay? This could be, teaching, like I said, in various forms. It could be, like I said, divination. Some of you will find fame as, tarot readers, or using, divination, or astrologers, by the way, like I said. And I feel like that's your guys' claim to fame, essentially. You could find recognition in any of those fields that I kind of mentioned. Law as well, like I mentioned, lawyers, and anything having to do with that realm of life. In fact, quite a few of you might be into that. You maybe, again, it's exposing people with illumination. Exposing wrong and right, or right and wrong. But yeah, I think I will just stop here and let it be. I hope that you guys like this reading. I know it's a bit different than what I usually do, but I thought that would be fun. I liked the request, and thank you so much for the, suggesting it. And I really hope that all of you are doing well. I wish you all the very, very best. Take care of yourselves, okay? Lots of love. Bye-bye. Hey guys, if you chose pile number 2, let's find out your claim to fame. So, let's see what we've got here. We've got the part of fortune. Okay, so this is definitely a suggestion for you guys to go find the part of fortune in your own natal chart. You can find it on astro.com. When you go into extended charts, you can find it down at the bottom. You can, I think it should be called, yeah, you'll see it. But that's definitely something to look at. Like, I know that, well, wherever it lies in your chart is where you're going to find it easier to find success. So that's kind of funny because that's what that's all about. So it's basically like, go look at your part of fortune. Not very helpful, right? We have the sun, so shining. You know, the sun is associated with Leo in the 5th house, so I could say, again, sort of being like a brightness to everyone, working with children, perhaps. And I get this too. I feel like some of you also have childhood dreams. This could be childhood dreams of fame, of recognition. Maybe some of you want to do a certain type of performance hobbies, not hobbies, like performances, like, you know, maybe singing, acting, and such, because of 5th house, right? That could definitely be something that you've perhaps dreamed about since a child. You could find eventually some sort of fame through that. Let's see what else we have. Lighten your load. Travel. Oh, okay, so some of you might find success. Okay, here we have connect with your emotions and inspiration. So I do feel that some of you have been through quite a lot of struggles in your life. Perhaps you've carried what you felt was the weight of the world on yourself at times. Maybe you've really put a lot of effort into, I feel like a lot of you have already kind of put a lot of effort or dreams or hopes into something in your life. Like, I feel like a lot of you already know what you want to do. So I almost feel like if you don't, or you don't have that specific dream or that specific hope, then I almost feel like this might be the wrong pile, and I'd go probably check a different one out. Maybe, but you can keep listening if you want. Maybe something will, you know, kind of come to you. So we have, like I said, that child card really makes me think of that in particular, of you having a childhood dream. I also think because of like the sun in the 5th house, for sure. I feel like I do sense that you're meant to be inspiring to people, that your journey has been tough, and that you've led an inspiring life that could somehow really connect to people on an emotional level if you were able to share it. I also get the sense that for a lot of you, in order to unlock your fame or your full potential in terms of getting fame or recognition, is to travel. I think that you guys will, and this is interesting because the first pile was kind of similar, well, not similar at all actually, but travel was mentioned there. But I do see traveling, so maybe you have to go to the right place, right? Maybe in a different market or a different area, you might find more success, right? Especially if you're doing something that's like, for instance, overlooked or like there are too many people doing the same thing, then it might be that like you need to travel to a different area. It could also be that some of you need a fresh start to start over. Some of you might, yeah, some of you I feel like a fresh start's needed. Maybe you're not happy in your area, or there's something about your area that's just spinning your wheels. But I do see that you guys are meant to kind of shine, inspire, lift people up. I would definitely encourage you to go look at the part of fortune in your chart. I know that mine's in like the 12th house, so it's like about 12th house topics. Not the most, well, usually it's not considered to be the most financially abundant part of fortune, but that's okay because I've never had mega dreams about that. Yeah, I look at this. I see lots of heartache here and sadness, perhaps confusion. Maybe life hasn't always gotten. I feel like many of you have had such big dreams. You've had dreams of being famous. You've literally daydreamed it. Some of you might have quite an active imagination. You've dreamt of financial security, success, maybe not even success, but like security at least. That desire to feel like you're taken care of, that you can live in comfort. And your dreams seem so much bigger than you. than you feel you are. I really sense that. Just see what else is coming up here. I feel like a lot of you have already kind of put some effort out into the world. Like, you guys have done this. Maybe you're really frustrated because you're waiting. Yeah, look at that, the Seven of Pentacles. Some of you might have already kind of put out the effort. You've contacted people. You've made physical effort in whatever you want to do. And like I said, this is going to be different. I don't get specifics here exactly, except for you know, some of the few things I mentioned as possibilities, like for instance, like acting and like performances, you know, performers. But and it could be really any hobby. It could even be sports people. You know what I mean? Anything that you do. Maybe I really get the sense a lot of you want to turn a hobby, a lifelong hobby perhaps, or a hobby that makes you feel good, makes you feel young again, or makes you feel happy, like innocent, like a child. It's like you've already, I feel like a lot of you have already put some work in. You've already, you know, tried to network, perhaps, tried to put in the physical effort, and you're just waiting for the results, and you're not quite there yet. Some of you might have some setbacks. I do want to say that for some of you, I do see somebody coming into your life, from quite a few of you. If you are someone who needs to network, I do want to say that I do see a new phase coming in for you guys soon, for many of you. Yeah, this could be a creative individual. So anybody that's in creative type of pursuits or sports even. I see an opportunity coming that would be very fulfilling. I didn't use these on pile number 1, but let's see. Okay, you connect your life purpose through your involvement with books. Maybe some of you want to be an author or something, to write books. And that could, you know, very well be a claim to fame. And here we go. It says infinite abundance. I do feel like a lot of you want to just be taken care of. You want to take care of your family. You want to be in the position to take care of those you love, to take care of yourself, to live in comfort. Maybe some of you didn't grow up that way, and all you want to do is just rest and be able to enjoy yourself. Maybe to share that abundance with other people as well. I do feel like a lot of you, especially if you don't know what it is that you really want, that's going to be awoken within you soon. We have you are safe and supported while you change your career. So maybe for some of you, there is a need to change your career up in order to go towards this this pathway that's kind of, you know, available to you in terms of becoming more famous or more, you know, gaining that recognition that you want. It does say that you are safe though and protected in this. So that I would assume that means that, you know, letting you know that it's safe to do it, that it's not going to hurt you, nobody's going to make fun of you, you're going to be fine. Let me get a few more messages here. Sorry. A few messages for those adjustments. So you have your spirit sparkles when you connect with what you love. That's the thing too. I feel like for those of you that don't know what you really want to do, because like I said, I don't see such specifics here. You're capable of magical creation. I feel that finding something that you really want to do that makes you feel good, there might need to be with the child some exploration and sort of like an innocent wonder at life and just kind of exploring what makes you happy, or going back to childhood and trying to remember the things that really did make you happy. What did you want to be? Of course, you know, we don't always want to be what we were when we were children. You know, I really wanted to be a pilot at one point, and I, you know, didn't become a pilot, and I'm not sad about that. You know, it was just a childhood thing. And I'm sure plenty of us have those dreams. But I feel like for a lot of you, maybe there was something specific. Or, again, there's this need to kind of find this energy where you feel like a child once again. And you have that. Some of you are going to get a clean slate soon, too. I feel there's some kind of clean slate. I don't know if you guys are going through a major transition that will sort of be activating your self-esteem, or even if it's hard right now. Let's see. So we have your spirit sparkles, like I said, when you connect with what you love. You're capable of magical creation. It's okay to have a voice and speak your truth. And it's okay to say no. Interesting. See, two messages that are quite similar here. Speaking your truth and saying no. So there's something here that might be a message for some of you in terms of going towards your goals. Maybe you have certain people in your life that would disapprove, or that there are certain engagements or something, or certain things that you need to say no to, or you have to be able to be honest about yourself, be truthful about yourself to those around you, or at least not care what they think. So let me see. So as you know, as that summary, just to kind of summarize, I feel like a lot of you, I'm not seeing such specifics come up in this pile as much as I did, I think, with number 1. But I do feel that you can find more about, where you could be fortunate by finding your part of fortune in your natal chart. That might give you some insight personally in, your own personal chart. And then as well, like I said, with the sun, though, it's about shining. It's about inspiring people, being a guiding light perhaps for others, helping people. And again, like I said, maybe 5th house type of careers, like I said, so performers, anybody who's, turning a hobby into something more, working with children. Yeah, I do feel like, I'm going to just say one quick last message. Some of you are, will, once you get out of a particular relationship, I feel like you are going to find in that fresh start or beginning, you might find that things are going to go better for you. And perhaps you guys will get that insight that you're wanting, okay? So, with that being said, guys, that's your reading. I know it's a bit short. Well, it's not that short. 12 minutes is not. Ooh, it said 12:12 when I looked up at the camera. Nice. If you guys would like to have a personal reading, that is all down in the description box below. There's a link to my Etsy store, as well as a link to my Amazon wishlist. So, yeah, if you like the reading, let me know. I know it's a little bit different than what I usually do, but I hope it brings like some interest to some people. But I take care, okay? So, see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey guys, if you chose pile number 3 with this carnation, this is your reading. So let's find out, what is your claim to fame? What in the world could help you become, more recognized in maybe in any field? Maybe you just want to know in what ways would you be apt to get famous or find recognition. Now, of course, ideally, you'd want to look at your natal chart, because that's what's going to tell you that. But, go look for the ruler of the 10th and find out where it's at if you don't have any planets in the 10th house. So, the ruler of the 10th, how you would find that is look for the sign on the cusp of the 10th house. So it's going to be on this side. And then you would see what it is. If it's Virgo, look for Mercury in your chart, and then make that correlation. Okay, so solar eclipse. See, I see big changes here. For some of you, this could even be faded in a way. That's very interesting. We also have Saturn. This is interesting because, another pile has Saturn. It's actually pile 4. And I thought they got the Saturn return card. And I was like, that's weird. Okay, so we have friendship, justice, blessings, bear. We also have Lord, take charge with authority. And we have contemplation. I wonder if some of you might be in law or something. Well, Saturn is connected to Capricorn, right? Also 11th house as well, Aquarius, because that's a traditional ruler. So we could say that we could be looking at the 10th and the 11th houses in terms of Saturn. Saturn does indicate that you guys have the discipline, I feel like, to make something happen. I do feel that there is definitely a leadership quality to you. You make people think, especially, I could see you guys running some kind of organization, to be honest, a charity. I could see protecting, yeah. I feel like a lot of you want big freaking changes in the world. You don't like the way things are, or you might have certain passions that you really want to stand up for, whether, you know, it's like, you know, rights for other people, for instance. I feel like you want the world to be peaceful as well, and you want everyone to have blessings. I get a lot of volunteer, like, vibes here. A lot of, yeah, organizations, nonprofits, and stuff like that. Yeah, wow, that's weird, because when I first started this, I was like, okay, let this flow, because I have no idea what the heck, like, to even come up with this. I'm like, I'll like, pull the cards, and of course I see them, because they flip out, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't, because I take flyers, and, but I just kind of glanced, and I was like, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, the first one was really easy, and now this is flowing very well now, once I'm starting to actually read it and put them all together. I feel like a lot of you could help people. You could really convince people, perhaps to get them to think a different way, to lay out things. Also, like, maybe, you know, screwing the system a bit. Old traditions, Saturn's all old traditions. But you know what's interesting is that I always think of, you know, a Capricorn and Aquarius, and it's like they're both ruled by Saturn, right? But they're like totally different vibes. Like, Aquarius is much more like, you know, gonna do their own thing and much more radical, and that's why I think Uranus does fit much better as a modern ruler. But it's funny, like, with the traditional. So maybe again, there's this energy though of wanting to sort of change tradition in terms of well, the way things are going. You know, maybe leaders or something. You want leadership to be taken differently, or you want to be the type of leader that is friends with everyone, that brings everyone justice. I really get a lot of this justice stuff. Like, and, well, obviously we have the justice card, but also, just like I said, Saturn, by the way, yeah, with the association of Capricorn in the 10th house, can indicate recognition. So, like I had mentioned, I think in the previous pile, oh no, I mention it in the beginning of this one already, probably, you know, looking towards your 10th house to see what kind of planets are there. If you have any kind of planets up in there, or if you do have an empty house, and this is actually an astrology video I'm going to be posting soon. I actually was outlining it a bit today, but empty houses, what that means, and how that isn't such a bad thing, and how to kind of find out what it means when you have an empty house. And does that mean you'll be broke? No. Does that mean you won't have kids? No. It doesn't. But when you have if you do have an empty 10th house, you can look to the, like I said, the sign on the top of it. And like I said, if it's Aries, you know, look for Mars in your chart. Where's Mars? And if it's in, you know, Libra, look for Venus, and so on and so forth. And then you can make that correlation. Like, I was recently doing somebody's chart, well, a node report for somebody. He knows who he is, and if he's even listening to this, or his girl is listening to this. But, you know, how I was looking at it is, you know, first of all, what are, you know, the aspects of the node, of course, but where is the house, what house is the node in, and also, where is the ruler of that 10th house? And his was actually in the 7th, so it's finding fame and recognition through partnership, you know, through having a partner, through having support, through, sometimes it could be like, you know, being the wife of somebody, but anyways, or, you know, the spouse of a famous person. But I'm not saying that for you guys, but I'm just saying that that might help you as well, kind of recognize that in your own chart, when you kind of take that meaning of the 10th house and then find the ruler and correlate those two parts. But I do feel like you're meant to bless people, that you're meant to bring kindness to people. I feel a lot of peace here. I feel a lot of worrying. I feel a lot of reading the news. Or if you read the news, maybe some of you don't want to because you think about it way too much, and then it weighs on your heart and your soul. But I definitely see somebody who is eager to make big changes, and I feel like these changes could, like, if you were to take these roles on, and take responsibility for people, I feel like you would find a lot of recognition through it. We have the Six of Cups. So this could be actually something from the childhood. This could be, you know, for instance, if you experience some kind of sexual abuse and you want to help people who have been through such a thing, or if you want to, you know, help those that live in poverty or have been homeless, and because you experienced something, or people you loved from your childhood experienced something. Yeah, look at this. We've got the Six of Swords. So this means that you've moved on from this. Travel might be good here too, but it could just be about bringing people to calmer, happier places, bringing love to other people. This could be helping children as well. We have the Queen of Swords, so an eloquent speaker, perhaps, you know, sharing your voice, your truth with other people, but in a kind of gentle way, you know, because we have this Knight of Cups and that Six of Cups. It's like very gentle cards. Yeah, you're very passionate about, you know, it's almost like changes of fortune. It's so easy for people, some of you might be really concerned about like the homeless and stuff, because it's so easy for people, you know, to lose everything. And maybe that's what you're worried about. Some of you want to make sure that people get lucky breaks, or everyone has a chance, you know, for a lucky break. I really feel like those are the areas in which you could really thrive and find fame, to be honest. Very protective, motherly energy here with the Bear too, I'm seeing. And then of course the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords. Definitely somebody who is very passionate and driven and has a lot of knowledge. I feel like first-hand knowledge in whatever you're kind of passionate about. So like, for instance, if it was like racial issues, you might have experienced this yourself, you know, and so that's where the drive and the passion comes from in terms of, you know, trying to change the way things are. But I do feel like you could become, you know, you could find recognition. This could be like, you know, by making an Instagram, you know, or, because think about it, Saturn. Not only is it, you know, it's like I said, it's associated with the 10th house and 11th house. Well, 11th house is, to me, is a social media house. But 10th house is also about public recognition as well. So it's about putting yourself out there in public, putting yourself out there for public perception. So putting your opinions out there, what you want to do. So I would say that, you know, even if you don't want to create an organization, you might find a lot of recognition through sharing like political posts or personal beliefs, or certain types of belief systems that you have, or certain causes that you're fighting for. Yeah, I definitely get that. But of course, I think it would be great if a lot of you would, you know, take those causes and, you know, bring some discipline to it, and to bring some sort of, you know, organization out of it all, if you could. That would be amazing. And I feel like some of you could definitely do that. You have the leadership skills, I feel, even if you don't quite know it yet. Okay, so let's get a few messages for you here. Knowledge and learning empower you. So some of you might still be in school, actually, and that's a good thing. Listen to your intuitive signals. They are real and will guide you in the right direction. So listening to that intuition about what feels, and share your cares. Exactly. Share your cares. Share what you care about with the world. Literally. No way. I've never even had that one pop out before. I didn't know it existed in that deck. That's crazy. Yeah, you have to share what you care about. Exactly. Even if you feel like sometimes it's like, listen to your intuitive signals. They're real and will guide you in the right direction. And some of you might be sometimes scared or something at times to come out with what you want to say, or maybe you're afraid of backlash or anything like that. But if you feel led to do it in your gut, you do it. And, you know, throw, you know, worry out the door about who cares, you know. But yeah, that's what I've got for you guys. I hope that resonated with you. I hope it gave you some sort of insight, okay? And as I said, you know, I know this is a bit different than what I normally do, but I thought it was a really cool request, and I thought it could be fun. Of course, I would suggest, of course, looking at your chart and looking into that. And of course, I'll be offering stuff in the future. I just haven't had much time with all the readings I get to kind of, because that was original actual goal of my channel, was to do that's why I'm arcane and stellar. Stellar was supposed to be because I wanted to do astrology, because I've been, you know, studying it for a long time, and I love talking about it. As some of you know that follow me on Instagram and have had the chance to chat with me. I'll just talk to you about it for hours. blah, 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 and send you about 50 freaking voice notes about everything, if I have time anyways. But yeah, I wish you all the very, very best. Lots of love. And if you want a personal reading, a tarot reading, you can do that by going down to the description box, Etsy. My Etsy store is there. And then as well, my, my Amazon wish list, because I also do I do readings in exchange for anything off of my Amazon wish list, so that's just an option for those of you who prefer gift giving. But I am sending you guys so much love. See you next time. Okay, bye-bye. Hey guys, for those of you that have chosen pile number 4, this is your reading. We have the beautiful yellow flower. And I just want to say something before I even start. I was sitting here because my daughter was like, I'm going to go watch anime. And she's like, I was like, okay, I'll wait till she goes up the stairs. And I was just sitting here looking at this pile, and I got the song in my head. I still can't find what I'm looking for by U2. The band U2. So for some of you, that might be something that will resonate with you. Some of you have not found yet what you're looking for in life. And perhaps that's because, and maybe that's actually going to be a claim to fame for you. So we have Cancer, I feel. We also have the Saturn return, age. Okay. Some of you may be going through, okay, we have boundaries. Let me just pull these out. And talent, we also have garden, so social settings. And we have Oracle, the moon, and patience. Wow, I definitely feel that some of you, I'm going to try to pull more cards on this because I feel a little bit of a weird message here, not a clear message. For some of you, I could see some of you becoming like mommy bloggers or mommy vloggers. I could say, of course, with Cancer, or family therapy, or family guidance. But I do feel like for the majority of you, you have a talent inside of you. Some of you have been pushing it away or have not been able to access it in the way that's necessary yet, or maybe there have been certain restrictions in terms of that. The thing that I want to talk about Saturn is that Saturn's energy is usually fairly restrictive, right? Wherever it is in the chart, until you get to, and of course different astrologers have different opinions. I've found for myself that I'm still kind of facing some of it, but not as bad. And I'm 35, right? So 30s, usually it starts to lessen though after the first Saturn return, for sure. But I have seen more closer to 40, usually being a little bit more when these restrictions sort of start to lift off you. So like, it's like when you start to, like if you have Saturn in the 3rd house, right? You may find it hard to speak up or, talk for yourself, or to say your truth, especially if there are negative aspects, by the way, to Saturn. It may be hard for you to be, break out of the box or something, or like I said, maybe stand up for yourself as well. And, I think the older you get, the easier it's going to become, right? So Saturn return, I really do feel like that's something here, that you're getting better with age, like a fine wine. You know what I mean? Like, you are gaining all this experience, you're taking it in, a lot of different things. But I feel like you do have a talent. For some of you, especially those of you that do have a specific talent already, like maybe you're an artist, or maybe you are, an artist of any kind. It doesn't just have to be painting, it could be graphic design, it could be so many different things. Obviously, I think talents can go in so many different directions, right? You could be a great writer, or you could be a great speaker, or you could be, a swimmer. Who knows? I mean, it's just any talent, really. I feel like a lot of you have felt some kind of restriction. Some of you also, I want to say a specific message, some of you have been led down the wrong path by a mother figure. Maybe for some of you, there's been pushing from a mother figure in terms of a talent that you didn't want to possess. Maybe living mother's dreams. For some of you, not all of you. I feel like some of you also might have some kind of mother issue, but also some of you might be held back by motherhood. Maybe, and that's not to say that there's anything wrong with that. I'm a mother, and I feel, but some people really get weighed down with that, and they have a hard time. It's a lot of restriction to maybe do the things that they want to do, and some people give up on their dreams once they become a mother. It's very common. I think not as common these days than it used to be, but that's, a possibility here. But I do feel like something is coming. I feel like a lot of you have been patient patient, even if you've been kind of putting in that work. I feel like I definitely see socialness here, like social media, the garden. I see recognition right here with the garden. Public, being in the public. It's like public appearances. It's social networking and stuff like that. So I do see that coming. That's going to be part of your fame or your recognition, is going to be a social type of recognition. But we do have Oracle and the Moon, and we have kind of two very similar messages. Wait for important information and take note of intuitive messages. So it seems like there's something coming towards you, but you need to wait a little bit longer. And it feels like the universe is telling you guys to have patience. Now, for those of you that are like, wait, what? I don't have any talents. Maybe this is about, developing something, putting some kind of, asking the universe, what could I do? Ask your angels, ask your guides to give you signs, right? Take note of intuitive messages. Wait for important information. Put it out there. Ask, pray to your ancestors, pray to, whatever you feel comfortable. And ask for this, this inspiration, right? Look at her crown chakra. That's where you get the messages, from above. So, and I also feel, there is some kind of boundary here, though. Some of you, if you are a mother, maybe you soak in too much of what other people are saying. You need to put boundaries up with certain people in terms of maybe them not really supporting you, perhaps, or maybe there are kind of like naysayers around you, or people that are trying to get you to be practical, to do what they want you to do what they think is the right thing to do. Especially mother figures, but it could be Saturn figure. I mean, Saturn can be a father figure, so I mean, it could be both. It could be either. The 7th house. This could be partnership, too restrictive partnership, maybe, or something like that, like a marriage or something. And 6th house. Some of you might just be bogged down with everyday life and everyday responsibilities. The 7th and 6th house, the house of marriage, the house of everyday life, routine, health, and such like that. And with Cancer, that's like the home, Saturn, restriction. It might be that you guys are just caught up with life. I'm feeling like many of you watching might be like in relationships or something, married with children or older. Or maybe some of you are about to go through your first Saturn return as well. I want to get a gauge and see, because I get nothing here in terms of like, how could you find your fame? Well, with social activities I'm getting, right? Public speaking. But I'm getting a lot, like not really specific things. I'm getting more of advice, I feel like, more than anything. So that's kind of weird. So I'm going to go ahead and pull life purpose cards. And maybe that will help shed light for some of you. Of course, this deck is very limited, in my opinion. So we'll just see what kind of comes out, what kind of messages need to come out for those of you that pick this pile. And it could be because multiple talents, maybe each of you have a different one, or maybe some of you haven't quite discovered the one that you're meant to pursue. We have travel. Your life purpose involves traveling. So for some of you, there might need to be a travel away from home. And that makes sense with Cancer. Maybe there is something restricting you where you live, certain responsibilities, and you need to, once you move away from that home, you'll find more success. We also have study. So reading, research, and education help you gain confidence and clarity about your career. So some of you might be studying now, or there's a need to go back to school, or you want to. We also have music. Your connection to music is healing for yourself and others. So some might be musicians here or be into music, singing or performing. Yoga. So your life is enhanced by yoga, stretching, and exercising. So some of you might be really into body work in general. It could be yoga. It could be, like I said, some other kind of body work, such as like, exercising and such. And then we have environmentalist. You're an earth angel who was born to protect, nurture, and teach about nature and the animals. So for some of you, might work well with environment. Different types of, this could be like with animals and such, or I keep saying and such. I usually say and then I was like, okay, I need to stop saying and then I was like, okay, and such. Anyways, Sorry. Some of you might make good forest rangers or lead children to learn about nature or biology or animals, biology, yeah. I'm just seeing different things here, I guess. But I do feel like one strong message for you guys. I do feel that for the majority of you here, I wonder if some of you have Saturn in the 4th. I have that, but I'm lucky because I have Pluto in the 4th, so it helped me get out of it. But Saturn in the 4th can actually be quite a restrictive placement, because it can cause someone to feel stuck in their life or stuck to family members or responsibility for family and all of that. But yeah, I feel like travel here, studying. Some of you really need to go back to school or something. Maybe you have something that you know you're good at. You know that maybe you work well with children, or you work well with writing or something like that, and you just you want to study a little bit more to give you that confidence, right? Because it helps you gain confidence. It won't make you gain all the confidence. You still have to get in there and do it. But it will help boost your confidence, give you that piece of paper, perhaps. And then of course, like music, yoga, and environment. So like I said, a lot of different talents here, I feel like. But one like big message here is that I do feel like a lot of you will get some important information soon that will help you on this path. Also, following your intuition, you're going to be having some intuitive messages. Again, these may not come as whispers in your ear. They may not come in dreams. It may come as a gut feeling. Don't ignore pings that you feel. When you feel led to go somewhere, when you feel led to do something. If you wake up one day and you say, I really want to go to Joann's and buy some fabric. You go to Joann's and buy some fabric. You know what I mean? Like, follow those pings, those feelings you have. If you want to go to a different Starbucks, go to that different Starbucks. You never know what, like, following those, like, different intuitive messages, or as I call them, my sister and I call them pings, you never know what those things are going to, lead you, where they're going to lead you. Again, too, with you, when you open, like, YouTube pings, you feel a certain video, you see that thumbnail, and you're like, I need to click on that one, or I need to save it to watch later, That could also be something that could be helpful to you. But I do feel like there's a need for patience. I do feel like a lot of you are having a shift, especially for those of you that have been putting a lot of effort into a talent, a specific talent already. I feel like you might be in a period of restriction here. There might be a need here with Saturn return to make sure that all of your efforts are fully formed and that you are putting all that you can into something, right? You're not just posting, okay, I'm just going to tell you guys something straight out. You're not just posting one video on YouTube and you're like, oh shit, I didn't get famous. Like, it didn't get all kinds of views. Unfortunately, it rarely ever does like that. It's something that you have to stay consistent at. And that's really with anything. Some people are lucky. And pile 1 is probably pretty lucky. Those that chose pile number 1 that have the Jupiter and the Sagittarius. But unfortunately, it seems like y'all got the Saturn. So I don't know how, like, it's going to take discipline. It's going to take work. And I do feel for some of you too, there needs to be a tougher skin. But that's just specific for some of you. You need to not let yourself get hurt by others. Like, you have to separate their words from yourself and not take it personal. You need to put up boundaries and walls around yourself, put protection, wear some black onyx or something like that. Cleanse yourself of negative energies as well. Naysayers and such, even if it's just like, family members or random people that you kind of come in contact with you because they just put you in a bad vibe. I remember I used to get some bad comments once, and I told Gossamer Dreams, I was like, oh, I got this bad comment. She's like, delete them. She's like, why do you keep that shit up on your channel? She's like, that's just inviting bad vibes. She's like, I delete that stuff. And I was like, well, I don't want to, like, censor them or anything like that. She's like, just delete it. And I was like, that's probably better to do anyways, because then it's just leaving, bad vibes, I guess, on the wall, or on the channel. So don't be afraid to delete them. If you're in such a situation. But I hope that this resonates with you guys. I hope it helps you guys. I'm sorry it wasn't, like, super direct. I feel like this was the least direct pile, but it's more about guidance, I feel like, at this time. Maybe that's what some of you need, that reassurance of patience, that something's coming, that you are, I feel like a lot of you kind of have a dream as well, sort of like pile number 3. But or you already are working on something, but it's feeling restricted at this time, but something's going to come. Again, like I said, I think the most important thing here I'm feeling is patience, but also boundaries. And then as well, waiting for that information to come in, being receptive to it, and following your intuition. So I wish you all the very, very best. Take care of yourselves. And if you like this reading, give me a thumbs up if you want. That always helps me know you like the video. And then, of course, leaving me a comment always makes my day. It makes me smile. So I always appreciate the comments. And if you want to have a personal reading with me, you can do that by going down to my Etsy shop. I sell all, different types of readings there. They're all video readings, personal video readings. And then as well, there's my Amazon wish list. So anybody who gets something off my Amazon wish list always gets a reading as a thank you. So that's another option for those of you who want to see like a certain deck on the channel, or who would like to get me something off my personal wish list that I'll never buy for myself because I'm a cheapskate. So I wish you guys a wonderful day or night wherever you are. Take care, okay?